Hey y'all, conservative brother Daily here, bringing you another. Uh, what's the name of my? What's my tagline? Your favorite base blackface trapped in a woke AF place, spreading common sense in a nonsense world. Today we're talking about. I know I'm a few days late or a couple weeks late to the party. Um, we got Sleepy Joe out. Word salad Kamala in. We got Sleepy Joe out, Scamala in. So obviously, big news here. You guys know I've been talking forever, trying to get back to recording the daily rants for y'all. But we obviously got to get the big elephant in the room out the way. Here we have officially, I think as of it was July 20th ish, or somewhere between the 20th and the 27th. We had it was the 20th, Saturday the 20th. We had Joe Biden officially dropping out to the 2024 election race. He will be finishing his first term January, ending January 2025, and we got Kamala up to the plate. I'm just gonna kind of say what I'm feeling. I'm getting a lot of kind of Obama Hope '08 propaganda vibes. We already had her announce her VP pick just yesterday, Tim Walz, governor out of Minneapolis. A lot of his history with involvement with law enforcement with the Minneapolis 2020 Floyd Palooza riots. His handling of mismanagement funds. I know Ben Shapiro does a good breakdown on that. And I was even about to watch his Scamala docu series. Right before she ended up getting up the, you know, getting the green light. So just a lot going on. So historic how on the 13th we nearly had a former president get assassinated. 20th of July, we now have Biden officially drop out, the first incumbent president after winning the primary to end his term. And now we have the Jamaican slash Indian cosplaying as a black woman, Kamala, who's now up to bat as the Democrat frontrunner. So the Democrat Party who touts democracy and we're the party of tolerance, they bypass everybody. Basically, I think there's still a hack where basically she was able to get all of Biden's delegates and also transfer the funds over. I'm pretty sure, I think they're trying to fight right now something with the Federal Election Commission to basically say that you have to refund all those Biden donors the money. So Kamala was able to raise her first $100 million. They're going through the Harris honeymoon right now. They got the woke white women for Kamala, woke white men for Harris, Zoom calls. And she's raising a good amount, I think about 100 million. So she's able to keep that 100 million she just raised, but there's going to be a issue coming up with the funds up until a couple weeks ago that basically Biden raised that money and Biden's delegates. So, I mean, Biden's delegates were able to transfer, but there's going to be an issue with the money train as far as Biden's donor funds raised as of July 20th. I will say that just in creepy fashion, the same corporate media that lied for 4 years about the state of Joe Biden and you know everything going on. All of a sudden, the June 28th debate. Oh, we didn't know Biden was like this, but we lied to you the past 4 years, and now you have the years of the media pretty much moderately bashing Kamala, her work as the border czar, and the left will go like, "Well, no, they was never labeled the border czar. Border czar was a nickname." Biden didn't come out and say, "Oh, Kamala, I name you the Biden administration border czar," but she had on that role where she was appointed to things: Ukraine and the border, and she failed tremendously at both. So there's just so many, so many feelings, so many ways we can go about this. But at the end of the day, if you look at Kamala Harris's prosecution record, basically keeping hundreds of black men, I think like dozens of black men, in prison past their term sentence just for prison labor. And there's people I've heard discuss like, no, well, she was like just a prosecutor. She had no control over that legislation. She just had to follow through with that. Well, yeah, but at the end of the day, you're a moral person. You could choose to leave that local office and go somewhere else. So there's a lot of people trying to argue, well, she wasn't in charge of that legislation as a San Francisco prosecutor. She just had to do that. All right. And another kind of nitpick with me is the fact that we have a lot of black folks that are getting a little too caught up in they're all of a sudden they're family genealogists. Everybody, just how 5 minutes ago, everybody was all of a sudden a policy plan expert. They're doing all their Project 2025 breakdown. Oh my God, Trump did, and now they're flocking to like, let's do every sort of lift every stone, see Kamala's heritage and throwing up photos and her history and oh, she was Indian, look Indian in this photo, and there's some truth to that. I mean, obviously, she ran off the being the first Indian American appointed to California Senate. If you look back at the videos and the press, she platformed off of that. She ran on that being the first Indian American to be appointed to the California Senate. And, she touted that for years. And, before that, she was she was black, apparently. She went to Howard University. She pledged to AKA, Black sorority. So she has a great big history on flip flopping. So, in a nutshell, there's a lot of things I could rattle off about Kamala. uh, Biden is pretty consistent as far as being a psychological liar, and a lot of the things he credits and claims and plagiarizes in his corruption. But Kamala's just on a whole new level. She has no morals. She slept her way to the top. Willie Brown kind of helped her get that way. Dating Montel Williams and every which way. And then once again, that's nothing. That's nothing new for a good majority of women in politics. Kamala just was really good at it, the video vixen level. So end of the day, I would say, regardless if Kamala Harris was white, whether she was black, we have to look at her record, her history, and her record as a California prosecutor. Horrendous, just as her record was as a VP for these past 4 years. Did nothing to the border, never visited the border. She ended up visiting the border maybe two years into Biden's term, never went to the actual border wall. When Lester Holt confronted her saying, "You never went to the border," she's like, "Well, I'm in charge of Ukraine. I've never been to Europe." And it was just so telling on themselves. And unfortunately, it's just the game the Democrats play is the Democrat fail up. Democrats fail up into these positions, whether it's a Gavin Newsom, whether it's a John, Gene Psaki, so many of them that just fail up. So we have Kamala, who has no problem flip flopping, claiming her race to a group of people when it's convenient. Just her history of climbing up the ladder, of doing what she needs to do to get in these positions of power that were not earned, and mainly just doing the bidding of the establishment. Just like with Joe, she damn near reflected to Joe Biden, who was a senator for 30 something years. Everything back from him saying 20 years old, "I want to be president," having this chip on his shoulder, dry, disgracefully dropping out of the 1988 race when it turns out he was plagiarizing and making things up. People were clowning him way back then. Continue his establishment bidding. The 94 crime bill, backing of the Iraq war, all the establishment war machine things you could think of, that's Joe Biden. So what makes you think Kamala is going to be any different? And also, if Kamala was so great, guys, why the 4 years of gaslighting saying Biden's so great, cast him aside, and all of a sudden, I've never seen so many people just jumping on from one from the Biden Titanic to the Kamala train. Like, that's not weird to you guys? What happened to your loyalty? What happened to your Biden supporter loyalty? And then the second this establishment, the elites say, "Oh, Kamala's the one," you guys just do as you're told. You don't think. You don't go, "Well, that wasn't something we voted on as a party or as a people or the delegates." It's just going to happen. So that's the blue and cult right there, where there's not even any dissident. As soon as the Democrats come out of that room, that smoke shaded room at the DNC offices, and they say, "Oh, Kamala's our girl," you guys jump right on like a bunch of clapping seals. So this is the game they're going to play. They're riding that identity politic card all the way to the White House, which I predicted. I think I said this as soon as March, like between March and the DNC, they'll find a way to get Biden out or he'll drop out, and the Michelle Obama card will still be at play. We'll see. Michelle will probably be something they'll say for 2028. if Kamala's so horrible with her first term, if she's elected, or whatever the reason is, she's dipping in the polls. They got no choice but to ride with Kamala now because they can't switch out Kamala after the DNC. Kamala was set the DNC nominee in August, so they're gonna ride with her, and they're on a Harris honeymoon right now. But I feel like that's going to be a little short lived. We'll give it maybe to the end of this month. People have short memories, and we'll see what Trump will do about this. So I don't want to go too long on this. These are just my initial thoughts. We'll do more varied breakdowns. But this was a play coming. I feel like the CNN debate in June was something it was supposed to achieve two things for the Dems. Either it will help Joe Biden recover his horrible poll numbers, get a shot in the arm, or if Joe Biden choked, which he did, they can set the stage up for Kamala. And that's what it was. As soon as they saw Joe Biden choked, or CNN let them choke, because the Dems probably wanted Biden out before that, they're set the stage up for Kamala. So this is very, very authoritarian kind of just, we're going to install her. There isn't a more installed plant than Kamala right now for the Democrat Party. Her whole history of not doing anything for Black people, denying even doing reparations, and there's just plenty of video out there. Her pandering, her trying to do sing the rap lyrics, Atomic Dog on Ricky Smiley. Doing a little BET skit with Taraji P Henson at the BET Awards. Girl, I've been in these streets. Like it's just so many levels of even alone, she was just a white woman. And just the level of her record as a prosecutor, record as a VP, that alone should be enough. But even then, like just the basic surface level of insulting with her black pandering. And there's so many black women that they are just indoctrinated. No, she's black. She's like you. No, she had a Jamaican father that she's not even really in touch with. She has a Indian mother, grew up in Canada, and had no sort of black experience or went through the thing or anything close to it. And now we're just supposed to be propagandized that she's for us, by us, when she is not. So that's all I'm gonna go, and that's all I got for now. And I will check you guys later. A lot more to discuss with Word Salad, Kamala in, Sleepy Joe out. That is Scamala who is in, and Sleepy Joe Biden is out. See ya.